So the only thing we say about this week, other than volleyball, it was a rainy week for every single team.
Yeah, rainy week.
Gosh, Kendall was in the softball team was supposed to have 6 or 7 home games and ended up only having 4, I believe, because of the rain.
Right. Was it Wednesday's game?
Wednesday they had the game. Friday's game.
Friday's game was canceled. Yeah. That's right.
Yes. But, cross country still ran on Saturday, and so I guess we'll just swing in and start there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like Brighton was running this weekend. But for the boys, the top 3 were Wyatt Rollins, Gabe Smithers, and Aiden Tapia, which I think are pretty normal top 3 for those boys. Their season is going to be winding down soon. So I hope that Brighton gets healthy or whatever's going on. She comes back. Oh, you know what? She might have been taking the ACT. So then in softball, like we said, lots of rain. They played Wednesday. They had split games against Delta. They went 1-1. And Delta's a tough team. That's a big school. They draw lots of kids. And so I think that Kendall was pretty happy with that. She said there were some great performances, including Reagan Hafey continuing her hit streak throughout the whole entire game. 2 solid doubles from Athena Lyon, who was catching over the week. RBIs from Emma Bauer, who is one of the freshmen, Maya Wren, and Kasten Dembowski. And I know, were you at Delta?
Yes, I was.
Those were the ones we streamed, right? Maya's fast.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, she is.
And she's fun to watch.
There was one, and she went from first to third.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe all of a sudden she was at third base.
I know. Last night at the game, because I went to the Aspen game for a bit, she just has to get on first base and she's going to make it home. However she gets there.
Right.
And it's so, yeah, she's fun to watch.
And that's one of the great things about those little speedy players is you get them on base, then it makes the catcher nervous. Then the catcher doesn't do as well, which makes it easier to advance. It's one of the things I love about softball and baseball.
Yes, they're fun to watch. I think that the one thing I love watching the softball team is their attitude. It's just so great.
Oh yeah,
they're so happy. They're fantastic. They work together as a team. It's just fun to watch them.
And I don't know if I have ever seen.
I've never seen one yelled at the other one.
Right.
Not one time.
And with Coach Kendall, I don't know if I've ever seen a more positive.
Right.
I mean, even on a play that isn't that good, she keeps it positive. She keeps it going, and she is talking all the time. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say stop talking because please keep going. But you definitely know she's the coach.
I know you do. Yeah, you do. And you know what? She's just so good, right? She was a D1 player like we were talking about earlier. She knows her stuff. And I think we're so lucky to have her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely we are.
So last night was senior night, which, by the way, that game was moved 3 times. The one that was held last night. They ended up winning 15-0. Aspen, I think, must be a fairly new team. I don't really know.
I'm not sure.
But I just felt pretty sorry for that poor pitcher on the Aspen team last night. I don't know that she threw a strike.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. So it was sad. But senior night, and of course we have the Cowboy senior, Bree Garcia, and then 2 seniors from Craig, Reagan Hafey and Dylan Herndon, who were honored with their parents last night. So that was nice.
Nice.
In volleyball, 2 more wins for the girls. Friday at home, in Cedar Edge against Cedar Edge. It was another big win for the Cowboys, 25-16, 25-11, 25-15. And then Saturday at home against Caprock. I think one of the most interesting things about the Caprock game was that their libero was excellent.
Oh.
She was picking up Emma, and that was kind of fun to watch. That, Emma didn't just hit and then we stopped. The girls had to work. They worked hard. Nora Gianetti was actually injured.
Right.
And so she was out. So we saw Ariel Gallegos, Natalie Kraft, and some other girls play some different positions and get into the game. And I think that what was really fun was that they just kept plugging along. You didn't even notice. That means that our bench is really well. So.
And I was talking with Coach Cravens at Friday at the football game after that. And that's exactly what he was saying. It's like, we didn't even miss a beat.
Yeah.
Have some injuries.
Yep.
Next person up. And they still keep going along.
Yep. Saturday, Natalie had two kills, and so they're just doing good, and it's fun to watch. I think that they're sitting number 3 in the state. Wiggins actually ended up beating Sedgwick County in 5 sets, maybe 5, but I think 5. And so Wiggins and Sedgwick they're just very good. Sedgwick does have that injured player that had surgery. But, yeah, it's fun. And Wiggins has always been a very strong team. I'm sorry I'm yawning, everybody. It's early in the morning here. On the weekend, of course, Emma racked up another 27 sets. There was a super nice article about Emma that Chassa wrote. That was really fun to see. And then, Ellie and Gracie Cravens, once again, are really splitting the setting duties. And just a ton of contribution. Ainsley had 10 kills. And just, in the back row, there wasn't a person that didn't pick something up. So that was fun to see. We have Coach Coriel on, so I think we'll talk about football a little bit later. Another big win, 40-0. So good for them.
In a very rainy night.
Very rainy. In middle school, everybody wrapped up their fall season this year. So volleyball, the 7th graders didn't end up winning this week. The 8th graders did, but Coach Molly Turner said that the girls are just all so kind, and they all work so well, and it's going to be a great group coming up. And then in 8th grade, that one is coached by Jordan Brown, and she said the same thing. They just came together as a team, and they did come away with win, both A and B teams, but it was just fun to see. In middle school cross country, Meeker actually ended up hosting their final meet of the year here on Friday, or I can't remember, Saturday, I'm sorry. And there was a ton of rain, but it did let up. And so Ashton Tapia actually took 5th place, Dexter Chin took 8th place, Brad Nielsen took 9th, and then Skylar Grimes took 11th in the girls' side. Right. Football, the 7th graders ended up losing 18-0, but the 8th to Steamboat, and they actually played on Thursday night. I think it was supposed to be Friday, and they moved it to Thursday. Gotcha. And then, I'm so sorry, everybody. And then 8th graders ended up winning 14-0.
So they went undefeated this year.
No, they lost to Saratoga.
Oh, that's right.
But they still only allowed 14 points the entire year.
Right.
Yes. So that's pretty cool.
Right. That's impressive.
Yes. And then Coach Colton Brown said, who is Jordan's brother, said 8th played a tough game and fought hard until the game was over. I'm very proud of how those boys played. So awesome. Good job, kids. And then let's see here. What else? I think that's it. I don't have the Mustang results. I do know that the big Mustangs lost their game this weekend. I did not hear about the littles.
And that was rifle that they played?
Glen Parachute.
Parachute. Gotcha. That's right.
Which, good for Parachute. That's Grand Valley.
Right.
We were just talking to we'll be talking to Coach Coriel, and Grand Valley was in our league for lots of years, and now they've moved up to 2A, so they're no longer in our league. But I'm going to tell you that when Judd and the group that's now, so we have the seniors now and the juniors now, the years that they played Grand Valley, their 5th and 6th grade years, Grand Valley forfeited at halftime.
Right. I remember hearing that.
Yes. So
we just hit too hard.
They're improving their football program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and their football program's been down for at least probably a decade.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, good for them.
Yes. So on the show today, we have Coach Coriel and Coach Bergman from softball.
Yep.
And so that'll be fun.
All right.
Crystal Meadow Farms is family owned and operated, offering a wide range of CBD products. Coming from 5 generations of farming, Crystal Meadow Farms offers farm-to-table products. In-house CBD extraction using beverage-grade CO2 since 2019. They create a CBD oil without the use of harmful chemicals. Their retail products are handcrafted using organic and natural ingredients and are some of the strongest on the market. They offer a range of CBD tinctures, spa products, a pet line, gummies for day and night, and a large line of topicals.
Welcome, welcome. So thank you so much, Coach Coriel, for coming in and visiting with us today.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so I think that, Rich, I was trying to think of when the last time we had Coach on.
3 weeks ago, I think.
Yes, for sure. And so we've had 2 games, I believe, since then. Cedar Edge and Roaring Fork. And both of those games went, of course, very well. Definitely went in our favor. It was wonderful. Roaring Fork was at home. It was homecoming. It was a lot of fun, and every kid got some playing time. And what were some of the good things you saw from Roaring Fork?
It's a good question. The best thing was that everybody got to play a bunch. That program, they shut the whole program down here. I don't know when that was, 4, 6, some years ago. And so they're just starting back up, and it's a giant school, but they're just getting going again. So I don't know that winning 40-0 there's not a ton of positives for either side, but the part where everybody got to play and there's a bunch of fans and little kids, or the young guys got in a bunch, I thought that was, that's neat for them.
Yeah. Were you trying some different things at the Roaring Fork game? Some plays that maybe we hadn't done all the time?
There might have been a few. I don't remember anything specifically, but yeah, sometimes depending on what they do, we add in some wrinkles that are specific to a certain defense or offense or whatever it is.
And before we actually get to Cedar Edge, I know that we actually have 2 teams that are similar in our league, Gunnison and Roaring Fork, in the terms of they didn't have a program for a while, and now they're building back up. And Gunnison has built back up quite fast. I mean, they... last year our first varsity year against Gunnison. And then now, they're sitting, number 6 or 7 in the state. So they're doing quite well. But those are big schools.
Yeah, they are.
And they have a lot of kids to choose from. I mean.
Sure.
Like you were saying, it doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you have a school that size, it doesn't take long to build something back up. And I did notice that they're a lot tougher this year. They were a lot tougher.
Yeah, they were.
Just on the field. I mean, they would take hits better and everything else this year than last year.
Yeah.
We played them pretty early in the season last year, so
we did.
They had a lot of teams to play since. But so moving on to Cedar Edge, wet. That game was wet, and I know that when we were texting back and forth, you said the kids definitely enjoy the slipping and the sliding in the mud.
I don't know. I think all little kids like to play in the mud. And I don't know. It wasn't cold, and it was just, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't great to sit in the stands.
I was like, well.
But as far as the kids go, I don't know. That was a good sign. There was nobody afraid to roll around in the mud. I mean,
right.
No, I thought it was fun. And it's we're going to be there again, whether it's this year or next year. There's always weather games, and so it's hard to simulate that in practice. So the more you're in it, the more you see it, it's just makes you better. And so we were thankful that it rained on us, I guess.
Yes, and I know, and the one thing about the rain is it's not just one team that's getting rained on, so it's both teams. So the 40-0 win, it was a win. It was a fun win for, I think the boys, like you said, had fun. And Connor had a great game. He ran 169 yards in a super slick ball. That was good to see. And I saw, the boys still working on the offensive line, doing a pretty good job and making those holes for the kids. And again, you got quite a few kids in the game, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that. We took everybody, which was
our first game of the year that we've done that.
It takes an extra bus because there's a lot of us. But I think the young kids, you get to go to a league game on the road, and that's important too. And you kind of get to see what the next year will be like. So, we did. We had a lot of kids there. And then again, I don't know how much. Yeah, they didn't all get to play, but we got most of them in. We didn't get to that running clock till pretty late. So, so a lot of them just rode the bus a long ways and didn't get in. But they all got to kind of see what it was about. And I think that's important for those young guys.
Yeah, hang out with their buddies. And you have, because do you still have 50, you have about 50 kids on the team-ish?
Yep, about 50.
About 50, which is big for Meeker, and that's fun. So this week coming up is going to be another challenge. It's, Gunnison, Meeker, and Buena Vista are sitting at top of the league right now, kind of tied. Meeker's actually number 1, but what are you guys preparing for in Buena Vista?
Oh, geez. A lot. That's a very good football team.
Definitely a passing team, the Camp brothers.
A little. That's a very good quarterback. That's a 200-pound senior quarterback. And we played them, when was that, 3 years ago here? And so when those kids were freshmen, they were all playing when they came up here, and they're just 3 years older and bigger and stronger, and that'll be a good football team, and they offer there's some unique challenges to what they do, so it'll be fun.
Yes. Now, Gunnison did manage to pull off a win against them. However, Buena Vista had 107 yards of penalties in that game, which probably attributed to their loss.
I would imagine part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, well, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
And we really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome.
And good luck this weekend. We will be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely be there.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Welcome, Coach Bergman. Thank you for coming in. So you had a super busy week last week. And we're supposed to have 9 games, I believe, or 7.
Yes, yeah. Without the rain, we were going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games in a 7-day time. So we started off last Saturday with Cortez coming to see us. Them and Delta and Basalt are usually our toughest competition each year. So we started off. We split the games with Cortez, which is great. Especially they're pretty high up. We're sitting at I think 22 right now, and they're in the higher than 15 right now. So they're looking pretty good. It was good competition for us, since that's the caliber of team we're going to be seeing regionals and then at state. So that was good. Some great performances. Both Bree and Reagan both pitched great. We had some great at-bats across the board. It was a real team win. I mean, everybody passed the bat. And so we had some confidence going in on Monday. We played Basalt. They came to see us. Unfortunately, we didn't come away with a win that day. I think we kind of just got beat with good, solid base hits that kept getting through. And, maybe... it was just a good learning experience to move forward, and for them not to lose the fight in them to face then Delta on Wednesday. So that was great. They came out fighting. We won the first game against Delta, but lost the second game against them. But again, a really solid team, a great matchup for us. I was really excited with how they just played defensively together. The pitching was great. The hitting came through. Some, notable performances. Reagan up to bat's always very solid. Athena Lyon had a great hit. I'm pretty sure one was a home run. I think we have it on video, but it was called a double. But, just great at bats, keeping them on their toes. So those were the games that we did play last week.
And then, like we said, Saturday games were canceled because of rain.
Right, and Fridays.
Yep. Fridays were canceled. Saturdays was actually supposed to be Aspen Senior Night, which had already been moved like twice by then.
Right.
And then it got moved to Monday,
yesterday,
which you guys
yes.
played yesterday. So.
Yes. So that I will talk about last Friday. That was kind of unfortunate. That was going to be our last JV game of the season.
Oh.
And so they hadn't had a game for a while, and then that was our last one, and then ended up getting canceled. And this week is just so busy with every team across the state trying to get their last games in before postseason. So I just don't think we're going to be able to reschedule it, which is a bummer. But yes, we played Aspen yesterday. We had just a quick senior announcement, and parents came out, which was great. We had a great turnout, but we were just trying to beat the rain. It was
pretty. It was lightning.
It was coming, yeah. So we got to talk about just briefly about Dylan Herndon from Craig, Reagan Hafey from Craig, and then Bree Garcia from Meeker.
Yes, and for the game, you guys, and then all their parents, of course, showed up. I'm sorry, I was switching too much.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, so the parents showed up, and there was a big crowd, and it was a fun game. It started out warm, ended up freezing, but that was fun.
Right. Yeah, I'm just glad we got it in because the lightning started going when we're having to watch the app for that, and we only had one umpire, which again is better than none for sure. So I'm glad he was there and we were able to play. And the seniors went in, did amazing, and then Addie Knowles got to pitch, which she did great. That was, only a handful of outings we've been able to have with her, but she does amazing every time she gets out. So I can't wait to keep getting her in there and getting her more and more experience. She's a trooper, and it was a good, fun win. And now it's nose to the grindstone the rest of the week to prepare for Cedar Edge on Saturday. I'm sorry. Those will be wins that will help us a lot and set us up for next week at regionals.
Right, and so Cedar Edge is Saturday. It's a doubleheader.
Yes.
And like you said, it's last game before regionals, and you guys take the top 32 teams into state.
Yep.
The top 8 host. And how many wins do you need at regionals?
So you only need one. If that's how it was last year, and I'm pretty sure it's the same. So 4 teams go in, and so you play 2 games, and you win one of them, and then you make it onto state, which is great. And we just have to wait to see what next Monday brings us when the bracket will get put out, either Monday or Tuesday, and then we'll see where we're going. It's usually on the east side of Colorado of the state. So we'll see where we end up, but that's always exciting. A fun road trip, overnight trip. We try to, eat some good food while we're over there in the big city. So I'm excited. And if anybody wants to come to Cedar Edge, the games are moved to 10 and noon. They're moved up earlier.
Moved.
Yes, they got moved up earlier.
Oh, okay.
So 10 and noon on Saturday.
That'll be fun.
At Cedar Edge.
At Cedar Edge, yes, for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, that was a lot to.
I know, but you've had a lot going on since you were in last time.
Yeah, but the girls are doing great. I think we're set up in a really nice spot to make a good postseason run. We just keep staying together. The team's looking strong, and I'm very excited to see what's next.
Yes, I am too, and I'm glad everybody's back and healthy, so that's good.
Definitely, yes.
All right, thank you.
Go sports.
Welcome back after that. So that was nice visiting with the coaches. Always nice.
Yeah, always.
Yes. So this week, again, we're recording this one on Tuesday. I know Rich hates when I say word when we're recording, but anyway.
How dare you say recording?
I know. So sorry. But so JV football played last night too. I don't think we touched on that. They did suffer a loss to Roaring Fork. And then, so then today, it looks like we have C-Team Volleyball versus Snake River at 5. There's 2 matches. And then we have football. So that must be at home because it says versus. Yes, versus. Okay. Friday, football home versus Buena Vista, 7. That one's going to be a great game. I hope the whole town shows up.
You just said Buena again.
That's how it's spelled.
It's Buna, dang it.
And then volleyball at Grand Valley, so they're not going to be home this week.
Okay.
So they're at 4:30, 5:30.
Just one of the things on there. It's amazing that we have a C team.
Yeah.
For a school this size to have that many volleyball players out.
38.
That's impressive. I mean, we have 50 football. Football you expect to have. But to have 38 volleyball, I mean, that just shows how good our program is.
Yes.
And how many girls want to be in it.
Yes. Yes. And like we were just talking about when we were off air is, our programs don't just stop on the court and everything. They're extending through lifting. And that's why, that's why the girls on the volleyball team, most of them hit the gym. They're lifting weights, and this is why they're playing. So if you wonder why you're not playing and you want more playing time, go to the gym.
Exactly.
Lift weights. We were actually at a thing this last weekend at Aspen, the college fair. I took Judd, and then Hallie took Connor, and the 4 of us went together, and we went to an athletic seminar on how to do NCAA athletics. And every single coach said, if there's one thing you're doing right now, it better be lifting weights.
Yeah.
So, yes. All right. Then Saturday, cross country at Aspen at 10 a.m. Softball at Cedar Edge is a doubleheader, 10 and 12. So I think that wraps up the week.
I think so. Except for now we need Athlete of the Week.
Athlete of the Week. So, gosh, this girl got a ton of playing time last week because she had so many games to play. And you just can't say enough about her. Just a great attitude, great at-bats last week, fielding the balls, running, always her goal is to do whatever she can to help the team win.
Right.
And so congratulations, Vivian Brown, on
Congratulations.
Athlete of the Week.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.